I'll always be with you.
Hi guys, so firstly I just want to apologise for the poor connection this afternoon. Like you all know, we are out in the middle of the bush and broadcasting live can sometimes prove a little bit more difficult than we intend. Process. So this afternoon in particular, we are doing a sunset and strangely there were two storms that occurred after I had thought about talking about storms and how we relate to them in our lives. But today I've decided to actually talk about lions. Why? I don't know, but that's what I feel like I should be talking about. And yeah, so let's get some questions going and then we'll start speaking about the lions. Audio problem, says Cougar Man.
I don't know if it's hard.
Unfortunately, I think it's the best audio that we're going to get. Okay, it seems to be the network connection as opposed to audio, so I'm sorry Cougar Man, we're just going to have to work with this. Yeah, but so as we start this afternoon, I just want to talk about the pride of lions, which relates to a number of lions who gather together and are a family. But before we go any further, I'll see if Zander can zoom in here. Look who's decided to join us. Oh. It's being a little bit harder than I thought. But there we go. Can you guys see it? This is a stick insect type of praying mantis. You can see it's going to start holding its hands in a praying position just now. Can't see it. Let me see, should I get up and show you? Let me jump up from my seat here and show you. It's just a pretty interesting little bug or insect. Oopsie. Oh. Keeps falling off. Yeah. Okay. You see him?
Just a little bit.
Can we come closer?
Yeah.
Xander wants to come even closer. Ah. I think insects will look very similar to this, obviously without the praying hands and that very triangular shaped head. But what they do is they try their best. They try their best to look like a stick, not a stink. So yeah, there we go. I think he's decided us to join in this meditation, so I'm just going to put him down and let him be, and let him carry on looking like a stick, and he's doing a good job at that. Right, back to lions. So like I was saying, a pride is a number of lions, females and males, but particularly the females who will stick together. Males will rotate through a number of different prides. And the reason I want to talk about lions in particular today is because of their sense of forgiveness. Now, lions, for those of you that have come to Africa, I'm sure you will agree with me that they are very powerful, majestic. There's a very strong family connection to them as well. And where you see this is, in particular, is when they've made a kill, they'll fight with one another so badly. Most of the scars on a lioness's face is from her family members in feeding frenzies. But no sooner have they fought, they're forgiven, and at the end of the meal, we'll all be lying up next to each other, licking each other, taking care of the same wounds that they may have inflicted. And I think as human beings, we can take a lot from that. We tend to hold grudges for a long time, and see the wrongdoing and try and hold it against whoever's done it to us. And I think the biggest thing here is just letting go and being completely okay with what that person may have done to you, and saying, although you inflicted hurt upon me, it's okay. I'm letting go. I don't judge you. I forgive you. And when we can do that, I truly Okay. Hi guys, sorry, seemed to be another technical difficulty there, but VM is on it and he seems to have sorted it out. So to the control room, thank you very much, and great stuff, guys. So let me just, I don't know how much of that you caught and how much you didn't, but I'm just going to go through it very briefly again. We were talking about lions and forgiveness and animals and forgiveness. I did see somebody wrote elephants had forgiveness too. Yes, they do. And in particular with lions, what I was saying is, for me, it's just amazing to see how lions interact, and 9 out of the 10 scars on a lioness's face is caused from her own family members. This takes place during a feeding frenzy. They may have killed something together as a team. So before feeding, they work together as a team. They work together as a unity, and together they bring down food to feed them. But during this sort of ferocious time of feeding, they end up hurting each other really badly. And straight after feeding and after this frenzy takes place, the forgiveness is so quick. It happens within a heartbeat. It's not even a thought. It's not a conscious decision to forgive. It just happens. And you'll see them moments after lying together on top of each other, pushing up against each other. If you've been to Africa, you've seen what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you've got something to look forward to when you come out to Africa. And if you're not coming out, well, hopefully the guys from Painted Dog TV can bring it to you in your lounge. Brent spends a lot of time with the lions, so hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about when I say they push up against each other. And for me, it is an amazing quality to learn from them, is that instantaneous forgiveness. And it's not I'm going to hold on to it, because all that does is, and again I speak purely from my experiences, this is how I've coped through life, this is what I've done, these are merely my experiences and learnings that I've learned through the wild, as well as through reading books and teachers, various different teachers. So please don't quote me on any of this. It is just the way that I practice and the way that I lead mindfulness in nature and referring to nature. So, like I was saying with the lions, is that instant forgiveness. And with me, for many years, I'm sure some of you will be able to relate to this, there were certain things that I held a lot of anger and bitterness towards, and I never forgave. And when I started going down my mindful path and my inner journey and learning more about myself, I realized one of my biggest hindrances was the backpack I was carrying of judgment and hate and sort of bitterness and all of these things that had built up in my life. And the moment I delved into that backpack and started unpacking it and started forgiving, life became a lot lighter. Can some of you resonate with this? If so, let me know on the messages. It would be great to know that you're connecting with me on this level. So yeah, forgiveness is a massive part of mindfulness and of clearing those backpacks that we carry around with us. And we can definitely learn this from nature, for many of the species. But today I just felt like lions was the one that was coming to the forefront, and it was something that I needed to speak to you about. And obviously, spending hours upon hours with my guiding career and lions, I saw it more prevalent in them than any other creature. Just that ferocious fighting is where it always caught me off guard, that the sounds and the aggression that came from that to the love, the pure love and kindness straight afterwards. So today we're going to do, when we go into a meditation, we're going to go into a self-meditation of kindness, gentle on ourselves, no judgment. And again, I feel that this is particularly important for the time that we're going through in the world at the moment. It is a very difficult time with the coronavirus, as we all know. And I think we can do a lot of an inner self journey here, where we can just go into ourselves and unpack these bags and come out of this coronavirus a better person, less in our backpacks and more judgment free of ourselves, because I think a lot of what we hold on to is our own self-judgment. So I don't know if we can go Xander too late this evening, because I know that we don't have lights out here and it gets dark quite quickly. Is that right?
Yeah, you can put them on.
Okay, so we can stay a little bit longer. Okay, I thought maybe we would have to try and make it a little bit shorter tonight, but not the case. Perfect. So we can take our time. Great. Sorry if I'm missing any questions. My screen seems to be coming through delayed. Carrying that backpack is like letting negativity live in your soul rent-free, and it robs you of so much. Dana, that is so correct. I see your little message come through here that carrying negativity with us is taking up part of your soul rent-free, and it robs you of so much. It couldn't be truer. Just carrying those negative sort of emotions around with us is definitely something that I encourage all of you to let go of. And it's probably the hardest part of mindfulness, is taking your journey into those dark and deep parts of you, of where you are carrying these burdens, and actually letting go of them. For a lot of us, our brain is wired in a certain way. Of all of our years of living and existing, we've put those neuro paths in our brain. So now to change it takes time and effort, and it's a constant work, it's constant maintenance to one's mind. So like I said in the last meditation sort of hour, as much as we work out physically to keep our body in good shape, we eat consciously to make sure that we're feeding ourselves with nutritional food. It's just as important to feed the mind and keep the mind keep the mind on the right track. And going into these places, I always find people, the reason they carry these backpacks is they don't want to deal with those emotions, and it's easier just to close the backpack and keep it on and keep walking. But in actual fact, let those emotions come out. Just sit with them. And today, when we go into our meditation, it's a great time to practice this. Just let those emotions come out, whatever comes out, and just be with them, feel them, understand them, and let them pass, because they come and they go, and they only last for about 10 to 20 seconds, maybe more, that thought. But that emotion will be around, but it's not going to be around for long. It's going to maybe be around for a minute, maybe 5 minutes if you're crying, but very quickly it'll pass through. And it's so important to feel those emotions and let them go and move on. And every day you'll do this for a while, until eventually it doesn't stir up as much as it would have. And again, I relate back to a pride of lions. It's not a conscious decision for them to forgive. It's not okay, you were really mean to me, Bob, but I'm going to forgive you. That doesn't happen. It just happens. And we need to be more like that. We need to be in the moment at that time, and be, on the other hand, remember what we say and do. Our actions may hurt somebody. So just be careful of how you speak, what you say. Be mindful. Think about it before, and always mind, mouth, and soul and heart. I always remember it. Let my mind be kind, let my words be kind, let my heart be kind. If it's love, let me think love, let me speak love, let me feel love. And it's just a good way to always remember those things. We need to take it off. We do. KJ Kupo 3, you used meditation last year for heavy stress and now for this. Yes, great. I'm glad to hear. It really does. It transforms your life, and you see things in a different way. And nature definitely, I encourage you all, if you can one day, come out to Africa, come on a safari, come and see what Africa has to offer. I believe she's got a magic within her soul. You feel it in the soil, and it's a magic that you can only feel. And the healing properties here in Africa are just unbelievable. So hopefully these little mindfulness sessions can bring it to you in your homes, wherever you are across the world. The birds cheeping, there's some cutthroat finches that are nesting here, beautiful little birds. Every evening they come in, and we go and see them. So yeah, if we can bring these noises to you from Africa, like, what a blessing I've been given to be able to portray this in your living rooms and in your homes, and just for you to be able to feel this freedom that Africa has to offer. And definitely come out on a safari, photographic safari, book into a lodge through an agent on the ground. I do feel that we need your support here in Africa, and more so, come out on a mindful meditation, a mindful safari. They're wonderful. They really do get you into the depths of the healing that Africa has to offer everyone. Yes, Nine Lives, come and visit. I'm based in Hoedspruit, but I do safaris throughout Africa. I am a guide, much like a lot of us here at Painted Dog TV, and I just specialize in mindfulness safaris, which is just delving in a little bit deeper and seeing the small stuff too, and doing mindfulness activities in the wilderness. Right, I think we can possibly, if has anybody got any last minute questions they would like to ask, anyone unsure of anything, does anybody, anything before we go into our meditation, now's your chance to ask. But as we go into this, please just remember, this is about forgiveness, it's about kindness, and it's about letting these things radiate through us on a daily basis in this hard time, because if we think it, the vibrations are out there. If we think positivity around this time, only positive stuff can happen. If we're all negative and heavy, I just believe it'll go on and on. So we need to lift the vibrational energies out there and just come in at a good space and get excited for the things you want to do, your bucket lists, work on those internal journeys, work on your inner self, just get to know yourself really well, because your relationship with yourself is just as important. And then come out and visit us in Africa. Agreed, Dana. Some people do. They hold on to it. It becomes. I was one of those people. I've been through quite a bit of trauma in my life. I definitely held on to emotional burdens for much longer than I should ever have. And only once I learned how to let go of them, and that letting go was pretty easy, and it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would have been, did I really find a new zest for life, and I just turned that page and that chapter was closed. And I encourage all of you tonight to start working on these burdens that we carry around and just releasing them. Africa has better predators than Europe. All predators are unique in their own way and very special to the world and the ecosystems that they support. So I'm not sure if they have better predators. They may have more diversity in predators, but definitely Europe, their predators are uniquely special. Right, I think we're wrapping up with the questions. So I think let's take ourselves into this meditation this evening, and it's going to just be an inner self meditation. So at the time of 10 minutes, once we've gone into our meditation, I'll slowly bring you out of it again. Let's try 15 minutes this evening with the talking in the beginning. We'll get a good 10 minutes of meditation, and it's so important today. Especially, I got a little message out on one of the groups that I was on that they're trying at 11 o'clock in the morning, in the PM, wherever you are in the world, for the next 48 hours, at 11 o'clock, just think positivity, kindness, all good things at 11 o'clock, and let's lift the vibrational energies, like I've said to you. So yeah, as we go into this, I encourage you all, please, just to get something comfortable to sit on the floor. If you'd like to sit on the floor, if you'd like to sit on a chair, just make sure that your feet reach the ground. Get a blanket. I've got my kikoe from Kenya, and I just encourage you all to get comfortable. If you've got a little blanket, maybe get a blanket. If you'd like to lie down, encourage you to lie down, whatever feels best for you. Remember, we are uniquely special, and we all have what works for us. So whatever works for you this evening, please start getting into that position. And yeah, so as we go into this, I'm going to ask you all just to ground yourself through your feet, root chakra, base of your tailbone. Please push that into the ground. Make sure that you can feel it really connecting with the ground and grounding yourself. And lengthen your spine. Feel yourself stretch vertebra by vertebra up your back, and really lengthen your spine. And through the crown chakra, let it have as if you're being pulled up by a rope, pulling you tall, stretching you out. You can, and as you stretch, just really, sorry, the dogs are playing, so it's a bit loud. I'm just going to ask everyone to maybe keep them quiet as we go into this, so that we can hear the noises around us. And remember, when we go into this meditation this evening, welcome thoughts, welcome feelings, welcome emotions, welcome noises. If you hear a certain noise, let your mind go there, but just remember to bring it back. It's always about just coming back to the stillness that we create. So don't judge yourself, don't be too harsh on yourself. Just really take this time to enjoy the last choruses of the birds here in Africa as the sun sets behind us beautifully. And yeah, let's just try and get us to really relax this evening. And now that the dogs are quiet, we can go back to that. So lengthen your spine, vertebra at vertebra, ground yourself, push your tailbone down, crown, let there be something pulling you up. And as we lengthen here this evening, open your heart. Let your shoulders fall back gently. Let your heart be open. And just welcome all this pure white light from above that shines down into your heart. Kindness, gentleness, no judgment. All those feelings, just let it pour into your hearts this evening as we sit here together in a powerful sort of gathering. And just let yourself settle and be calm. And as we do this, just remember to come back to your breath. So let's all take a deep breath in, as deep as we can go. Hold it. And out. And you can breathe in and out through your nose, or you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Whatever feels comfortable, just go with that this evening. So let's take another deep breath in. Now just let your breath fall back to its natural rhythm, whatever feels most natural for you. And let that light pour into your heart. And as we sit here, just let the emotions that want to come to the forefront be present. Let the feelings be present. Let the thoughts be present. But no sooner let them go. Let them blow away on the winds. So if there's something you're really struggling with, what helps me is as I breathe in and I blow out, I'll often blow with quite a strong breath and blow that away out of me. Let it go. Xander, please just go tell him to cut it. He needs to turn off. Apologies for that. The vehicle coming in there. It's Brett on his way back from game drive. But just find your concentration again. It did break mine a bit, so take another deep breath in, and as we do so, find yourself back to that still place, calmness and kindness, gentle, judgment be free. So if you can just bring some awareness back to your toes and gently move your toes around. While you do this, let your awareness come back to the room, the warm feelings around you, where you are, what the room looks like. And slowly start moving your hands. Take another deep breath in. When you're ready, open your eyes. Just be still. Slowly come back into the now, into the present moment. So I don't know how that was for all of you, but for me it definitely brought up emotions of sadness. There's quite a few times that I got quite tearful, and I just sat with them, and yeah, just a good release, I suppose. I'm just going to go see if there's any questions again. Sorry, it's taking a bit of a while. Pam, no worries for being late. It's early for me because I work at night. If you fall asleep, you can fall asleep to the sounds of Africa. This lioness is so skinny. She's not. She had been feeding, I think, that lioness, if I remember correctly, from what Brent had said. And the collars are definitely not uncomfortable on these animals. They don't feel the collars at all. So it may be visually unappealing, but for the animal, it's pretty. They don't feel it at all, and it's very vital for us to be able to monitor these animals. Conservation is a huge role in Africa, and without the technology of collars, we'd be losing predators and sort of carnivores throughout Africa on a daily basis. So the collars play a very, very integral role in keeping these animals safe. Yeah. I was going to say, Pam, I think it may have been the screensaver that came on when we were having technical difficulties that Dee is referring to. Please don't forget to show love for you live stream hosts by clicking the like button. Much love to you all. Have a beautiful night or day, depending. Yes, Dana agreed. Please go and click the like button and like our wellness show here at Painted Dog. And yeah, I encourage you all to go out there with love and kindness in your hearts. And remember, as just when life goes back to normal and we can pass people on the streets or whether we go shopping, just always approach them with kindness and love. I think it's so important. We, like two ships passing at night, you don't know their background and they don't know yours. So always just approach that with the most love and kindness that you can. And remember, smile changes someone's day. It goes a long, long way. But I think I think there's not much more for this evening. I think it was a beautiful chorus this evening. We heard quite a few birds. And I think now it's time for those of you that are starting your day to start your day on a good note. And for those of you that are going to sleep, I wish you very many happy dreams and a peaceful rest. And for us here at Painted Dog TV, we definitely are, I think, going to have an early night. It's been lots of work recently. So thank you all for joining me, and please like and share and pass this around, and let's change the world and be the change that we wish to see in everyone around us. And remember, you can encourage those that are close to you. So have a lovely evening and good night.
Always